And so it begins already, just that fast in the chat. So shout out to DMV Doll. Good morning. DMV Doll says on social media they started calling his fans MAGA, make Aubrey great again. And also good morning and shout out to Young Fortune. Young Fortune says, y'all clown said Drake career was over. He number one. Laughing emojis. This is the type of divide and some of the call outs and some of the spot 'em got 'ems that we're gonna get into, people. Okay. I didn't even come on the stream yet, and already the chat is dividing. Good morning, everybody. It's your boy ARP. Welcome back to the Sorry Is True podcast. I need y'all to remember to do something for me, man. Make sure y'all continue to like, share, comment on the videos. I need your opinions below. I'm not like some of these people that are on cam or have platforms and just, my word is law. I'm very opinionated. I try to come from places of logic that aren't easy to debate. Doesn't always make me right. Doesn't mean that I'm not always looking for feedback and criticism. All right. So drop comments below. Let me know how you feel about some of these topics, the places you agree, the places you disagree. Okay. And share the video, man. Keep bringing people to this lovely podcast where we have a good time. Shout out to the members coming into the building. I also see Kelson in here. They arguing early. ARP, show us your playlist. Shout out to the members. I'll tell you this, right? As we start to get into the topic, I'll tell you this. My playlist has both Drake and Kendrick. Okay. I I don't want to kill Drake fans. I don't want to kill Kendrick fans. I'm not a Drake stan and I'm not a K-bot, right? I'm neither. Fans of both of those guys. I have both of their albums. I will continue to play both of their music. That's one thing I've said consistently, right? Now, people's character in my, perspective has definitely changed. But music is music, right? I'm here for the music when I make my final decisions as far as that stuff. All right, let's start to move down this road, y'all. I got some videos that I'm gonna bring up here as well. You also see in the thumbnail, I have a picture of Joe Budden, Lil Durk, and Math Hoffa. I might start doing that. Once again, drop me a comment. Let me know if that helps y'all understand what's going to happen on some of the streams. The main topic is going to be, is Drake turning his fans into weirdos? That's the main topic. But those other three guys that are in the thumbnails, I'm going to jump off into small topics after the main topic. So if that's a good way to let y'all know what's going on, show y'all little indicators like that, little teasers, whatever, let me know if y'all rock with it. We're going to keep having fun over here, switching things up and seeing what helps the chat and myself the most. All right. Let's talk about being in areas that you really shouldn't be in, right? What do I mean by that? We all have said like the story of the kid that grew up and he was bullied and nobody really ever respected him. People stepped on his toes, they stole his lunch milk, that he wasn't able to sit at the cool table. And that kid grows up to be law enforcement. That kid grows up to seek a position in authority. He wants a badge. He wants a gun. He gets overly aggressive. He wants to bully people back now. He walks up and down the block on his beat. Oh, what'd you say? And he wants to push people around and be excessive. The way he grew up, the first 20 years of his life, he was given a certain energy, and whether he knows it or not, he now returns that energy and projects it back onto other people, right? That's like one of those classic examples that we give. What's another one that we talk about of people not being where they deserve? Some presidents. I ain't gonna go. I stay away from politics and religion. Anyway, let me keep going. Of course, some rappers, right? We've seen some horrible people make attempts to rap or even act, right? It's just like, that's not for you. You're not supposed to be there. We see a lot of these examples of people in positions that they really shouldn't be in. Streaming is no different. Okay. Blogging is no different. The world is like so based on content right now. There's a billion podcasters, there's a billion bloggers. I'm in that big mix as well. There's some things that I do great. There's some things that I need to develop. And there's probably some things that some of y'all would say I do bad, just like everybody else. Y'all have seen me on camera for about 13 years at this point, some of y'all, and I would hope that I remain consistent even though I've grown as a man. But the thing about some of these people, especially the overnight success podcasters or these people that have big followings, right? What happens, well, one of the things that annoys me is messages that can carry out into the public from large platforms and large voices that don't come from a place of integrity. Now, does it mean that somebody can't put out a strong opinion that a lot of people don't agree with, right? But you got sometimes just flat out lying and people that are just jaded and just it's just that type of stuff. It annoys the shit out of me when I see it, right? And I get it. When we talk about the Drake and the Kendrick beef or battle and the aftermath and all the stuff that's going on, it's the biggest rap battle of all time. We are literally getting to the point where we can debate, discuss, bring up. Is not like us the biggest rap song ever. The worldly impact that I see of it having in these third world countries and what it's some wild shit. It's some wild shit. And situations like this divide. Okay. You have two presidents going at it, or two presidential candidates going at it. It can divide people. It could divide the culture. You could feel away if you see a certain sign in your neighbor's front yard, right? What else divides people? The playoffs can divide people. The NBA finals can divide people. Hell, I was just at the Super Bowl and I was wearing a red Chiefs jersey, and it felt kind of wild walking past all these Eagles fans at times because we trolled each other and everything. And, oh, let's go birds. And, it's all that type of shit. And then I happened to even be sitting kind of like in an Eagles section. The Eagles dominated the stadium. The Eagles fans, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all dominated the stadium. Y'all came out for y'all team to support y'all team. But the divide of even sports, when I see that, some of it is human nature. You go for who you go for. It has ties into some of the things that are even deeper rooted, where people feel the need sometimes to be a part of something. That's why you even see some of these kids joining gangs, the affiliations, and to be a part of something. So the divide that I see Kendrick and Drake continue to create, whether it's cultural divide, whether it's fan bases, whether it's who won the battle, was the Super Bowl done right or wrong? Like, motherfucker, like, it's Kendrick's Super Bowl, like it's his choice at the end. All these things, it divides people. But another thing that it does is it also shows people's true colors and the true nature of their personalities. And that's where I get bothered a lot, because I want y'all to help keep me grounded, man. I never want to be the person that wants to come on here and tell you the sky is purple. If you ever feel like I'm telling you something in that respect, please call me out for it. Drop a comment, hit me on Twitter, DM me, send me other areas of proof, send me videos that contradict what I'm saying, and I'll check it out. I'm always, open ears when I'm approached with respect and logic. 100%. 100%. I don't ever want to become that person. And I think it's sad to actually become that type of person, but it's a personality thing, right? Why did I get triggered on this topic this morning? Why are we looking at a title that says, "Is Drake turning his fans into weirdos?" Right? And Drake fans, not all fans of. It's sad that I need to say disclaimers like this, because once again, I'm a fan of Drake's music. I'm not a fan of him as a person. I'm a fan of his music. Just like Kanye West, I'm a fan of his music, but I despise him as a man, right? Drake fans, people that categorize themselves in this beef, people that got their flag down and they're just like, this is my team. I'm not here to offend any of you, okay? I'm not here to offend any of you, right? But when I say, is Drake turning some of his fans into weirdos? To be fair, I've seen some very, very weird Kendrick fans on the internet as well. All right. To be fair, very, very weird. Right. I feel the same about both directions. But the reason why I'm going at the Drake side today is because I saw a video that triggered me. Let's bring it up. We spoke about Adin Ross before, and we pulled up clips of where he stood before the Super Bowl. So, of course, he doesn't have credible Super Bowl halftime show takes in the aftermath. He's not credible at all. Not just because he streamed with Drake, right? But because he appeared to be one of those people that were turned out by Drake. We saw him on stream with Drake talking about, yeah, we glazing tonight, babe. Fuck, we glazing. Cool, that's what it is then. And his amount of bias clearly shows, that he's just not a credible source when speaking on some of the stuff. But once again, when I say earlier, people that are in positions that they may not deserve to be, I'm sure Adin Ross could cover greatly a lot of topics, but when he speaks about hip hop, I would love to see a little bit more credibility, because that's where I get defensive. I'm defensive over hip hop, right? And it's not just because Adin Ross is white. This goes for any podcast. I don't care what your color is. I like to see more credibility. So he's not credible, but he has a big platform. So let's talk about it.
Adin Ross is back with another hot take, and this time he's coming for Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime performance. According to the streamer, Kendrick didn't use his set to celebrate his legendary catalog.
3 cuts in your eyebrow, trying to wild out. By the way, anyway, Adin, you know what song that is, right? Okay, I'm just making sure.
Instead, he made it all about Drake. Let's get into what he said.
But that was kind of a big W for Drake, I think, the Super Bowl performance, right?
Oh, for sure.
Because like if you compare past Super Bowl people, you have like Beyonce, Bruno Mars. Yeah. It's like Kendrick. It's like,
and he made it all about Drake.
Yeah, exactly.
He could have performed "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe," you know, all of his classics like the ADHD stuff. Like it's just he didn't do it. He obviously wanted to make it about him. And what?
Can we stop for a second? Can we stop for? This is a very short video, people, so it's all good. But let's just stop for a second. I too, and I will say for me, I don't want to make anybody see the comment I'm about to say and feel like, oh, he's disrespecting me again, because the word ignorant is not a diss, right? It's just a lack of knowledge in a particular area. I, like many people, was very ignorant, you know, once the Super Bowl was finally over, like at that moment, like, yeah, where is this hit song and that smash hit and that prior song from the Pop Out concert? Like, why didn't he do that? We were educated on that, people. We were educated on that. To ignore it after being educated on it is, once again, you're just being standoffish, right? To be in the presence of knowledge, truth, or being given information and still saying, no, I'm good. Those are the type of people you got to spot them, got them, and hopefully avoid them, right? I was ignorant, and then I was educated, people. Once again, the PG Lang imprint and GNX album coming underneath that, where he has full rights or 80% of the rights versus what he had under his TDE music and projects. It's night and day as to how he can capitalize and monetize the type of music that he performs and use one of the biggest platforms that any artist could have access to put more light on it. And we saw all the songs from GNX continue to then chart and get all this amazing rush of numbers post halftime show. So not only did he have this higher message, and yeah, he did attack Drake during the situation as well. We'll get into that next. But putting a light on, having people in the background run around with the flags of PG Lang, right? Him wearing the A chain, you know, representing once again PG Lang, him performing GNX songs that are under PG Lang. It's just like, I'm not a part of Kendrick's camp. I don't got no inside information, but I want to talk about business, people, and ownership. And if anybody sits down at the table and says, let's plan this out, what songs to perform, how to craft our set, why are we doing the thing? It's not random. It's very, very small thinking for us to try to guide these people's career that are already at the top. It's not easy for me to tell Kendrick what to do when he's showing me that he's being among the most successful with his current choices. Will he have missteps? Is he perfect? Fuck no. And yes, he will have missteps. But you want me to sit here and choose his track list as if what he just didn't put God knows how much more generational wealth in his pocket for him and his family. And if I was at his level and I was about to do the Super Bowl and I didn't have that thought, you know what? I would love to have people around me that would give me that type of insight. Like, hey, you want to know what would be smart? Instead of 90% of the songs that come off of, you know, Good Kid, Mad City and Damn and Mr. Morale and whatnot, if we focus more on GNX and we create our set around that, you know, you're going to fuck around and make an additional $20 million, right? Well, now you got my fucking ear. Who in the chat wouldn't do that? Like, it's incredible. So, all right, let's move to the next one where it's just like, yo, do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it, Adin? Like, or are you just playing ignorant for Drake? Or both?
Never. In my opinion, it is what it is. And in my opinion, like, I think Drake won that beef because the rap battle, because it's like obviously.
Shut the fuck up. Like, he gets 2 seconds right there. Yo, to say that the Super Bowl was all about him. I have a topic on that, but I'm gonna save it for the next video. Okay, that one's a little bit more deeper. That one bothers me a little bit more at a personal level, right? The halftime show being focused on Drake. I'll save that for a second. Bear with me. But I think he won that beef. People, even Drake doesn't think that he won that beef. Drake is coming out on his tours with smoking bullet hole contraptions and it built into his outfit. He's on a revenge tour. He's slamming DeMar DeRozan's jersey and cursing him out when he comes to Toronto to play his own basketball games. Him and Academics tried to out LeBron James. He's on a revenge tour. It's fuck everybody now. It's defamation lawsuits. There's no way that y'all can convince me that if the roles were reversed, we wouldn't be seeing similar by Drake. And you want to know what? I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I'm not saying Jay-Z is holier than thou. If Drake trashed Kendrick, I know people say that Drake and Jay-Z got this little thing, and they did, or they do. Who knows, right? But if Drake totally crashed Kendrick and it was total role reversal, who knows? Jay-Z might have asked Drake, do you want to perform at the halftime show? There's no way Kendrick goes through what Drake is doing and then Kendrick still gets the halftime show call. I don't believe that. That's my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? But if Drake was the one that dropped Meet the Lamars and then the Not Like Us, calling out Kendrick and having this worldly bang or whatever, and then winning 5 Grammys for it, right? We would all be looking at Kendrick crazy. And we would all be saying that Kendrick lost and got his ass whooped. Well, I shouldn't say we all. I'm lying. They're all the academics of the world. I would be saying, at least speak for my damn self, I would be saying, Kendrick, you got your ass whooped. All right, go ahead, shape up and shift out, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, to sit there and say, I think maybe it is your actual opinion, and maybe you have logic behind it. If you do, I would love to hear the logic behind it. I mean, like logic in depth, not I just feel real logic in depth. And if that's really just how you feel, no problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then people have their biases or I should say their preferences. Biases, I don't respect if you apply a bias towards reality. But maybe you have your preference. Maybe you like the Heart Part 6 more than Not Like Us. So that's fine. That is totally fine. But to really just be out here at this point saying that Drake won the battle, and even Drake doesn't even think that he won the battle. Like, you didn't hear the white flag that came out at the end of his last song that dropped? You don't see this lawsuit? Did you read the paperwork of the lawsuit? Yo. All right, man. Let's finish up whatever left he has to say about this BS.
Obviously, Kendrick made the hit song, The Not Like Us, but it's all lies. He said he had a daughter, which was debunked, and then the pedophile.
People forgot about that, eh?
Right.
The daughter thing was crazy.
Like, come on, bro. It wasn't even real.
No.
Like, but people don't bring that up.
It's crazy.
No. It's okay if you bring it up. Like, yo, dude is sick. These are the people that y'all have as y'all mega streamers. You're sick in the head, Adin. Like, yo, listen. I'm down here, Adin, for the Adins of the world. I'm down here on the floor of real hardcore traditional battle rap. I'm down here on the I'm one of the goats in my area. Okay, Adin, so I could really speak about this shit. Okay, a rap battle does not always have to have true lyrics or true bars. There's this thing we call irony. There's also this thing we call embellishment. There's also this thing about just painting a picture of and I'm very consistent with this. It's funny too, because I have math in the thumbnail for a totally different reason, but I could use math as an example. I'm so consistent with this. Go YouTube Big K versus Math Hoffa, a battle that happened on Guerrilla Warfare. It could have happened like 8 years ago for all I remember, right? You go pull up the timestamp of it. After that battle, I'm on the phone with Math and I had a debate with him about who won. And Math had a very strong opinion in his debate that he won the 3rd round of that battle because what Big K said, everything wasn't true. And I debated him. This was like an hour. Me and Math will do that. We'll get on the phone for an hour and we'll debate or talk shit or we'll lighten each other. And I'm debating with him. I'm like, this is battle rap. Like, we want to hear the truth. We want people to live in their truth. We want to hear reality rap. But that's not the nature of a full conclusion as to who it's about. Moving the crowd. The core root of all of this shit is just an MC. Move the crowd. Who was damaged more just by the fans? What did the fans gravitate towards more? Why do you think people try to convince the fans so much? Because the fans are the judges. The fans are the judges, man. You know, that it just is what it is. And you want the average fan to gravitate more towards what was real and what was true. But once again, there's embellishment. When we watch Jay-Z and Nas sitting down next to each other and do that interview with Sway after their beef, and Sway clearly asked him, like, all right, well, you said he only had one hot album out of how many drops that Nas had. And Jay's like, you know, I didn't really mean that. You know, you got to find angles. Like, it's a battle. Right? Like, do you want to listen to Jay-Z that had one of the best and the biggest hip-hop battles ever? Do you want to listen to the Me's of the world that actually live on the ground of traditional real battle rap? Maybe you don't. Maybe we don't have any credibility to you either. That's fine. But newsflash, Drake is the reason why Kendrick put his whole fucking family in the Not Like Us video. Crip walking around the living room and basically creating a visual portrait of him and his family and his kids lined up in front of him to show that they both have the Martin ears and all that type of shit. Why did he do that? Because Drake put on his name that his best friend was the fucking father of his fucking children. Was that true? I was able to disprove, denounce, or kill your angle. You wasn't able to kill mine, right? Why don't y'all sit up there and spend just as much energy trying to disprove when he talks about such and such got a weird case, or the footage of you up on that stage, or we keep hearing about these grooming allegations before the battle, but that has nothing to do with me. I'm the one that amplified it and put a light on it. But there's documentaries out about Drake and young women and some of this weird behavior before Kendrick and Drake battle. Look, talk about that then. Spend time denouncing that. You target the little kid. Just so happens that actually somebody even caught him with that before. And Kendrick would be a lame if right now he continued to ride that wave. If by the time Kendrick, I think just that fast. And I'm not sticking up for Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going with my own opinions. Shout out to Luffy Length and the members. I got you, homie. I'm going to be over there in a second. Like, just that fast. By the time Kendrick went from Meet the Grams to Not Like Us, when he doubled down on the same thing that Drake even said at the end of his last diss track, The Heart Part 6. He said, you doubled down on that, of the child stuff, with the pins on your house. He doubled down on that. I never heard Kendrick go anywhere close to the kid thing again, because maybe he got some shitty information, or maybe he really did fall for this trap that Drake says that he put out there, right? This elaborate trap that didn't work or catch anything. but come on, like, Kendrick didn't lean on that. That's not what decided the battle, if Drake has a kid or not. But is that what a Drake defender is going to hang his hat on? Good luck. Like, oh my God, it's crazy.
See, that's what scares me too, is because, like, I guess when you get to that level and you're so big, like, people really do just want to see you fall.
That's how it is, bro.
That's
They
true.
all
Like,
had
nothing
they
Kendrick,
had it out for him.
nothing Kendrick said was ever proven.
Nothing.
Obviously, Drake's not fucking banging underage girls.
He can get any to kind of get the girl he wants.
Yeah, it's like, but isn't that kind of scare you too? Where it's like, when you're that big, people really want to fucking come for you.
Yeah, and it's sad because you can argue that Drake put Kendrick on. I'll never forget, in 2011, I was 11 years old. I was going to this. It's called it was Would You Like a Tour, I believe. It was when he first dropped Take Care. He took Kendrick, J. Cole, A$AP Rocky, The Weeknd, all these guys on tour, gave them all a feature. French Montana, Meek Mill, all of them. And he put, he helped put him on. And it's like, you're doing him like this. It's all out of, I'm telling you, it's because
there's some truth in there, man. Hey, Adin, you got one where we would say, when you have that much success, you sit in the throne for that long. I do believe that. That's sometimes human nature for some weak character people. They have that he keeps winning, I'm good. I don't be feeling like that. If Floyd is supposed to be undefeated, let him be undefeated. You know, if the Chiefs are supposed to three-peat, let them three-peat. I don't start drifting off into there's some Taylor Swift thing going on. And I'm like, look, winning is winning. If MJ goes in three-peats, cool. Like, I don't hate on a winner. If you're dominating, you're dominating. Like, if you're good, you're good. You know, but people are like that in the world. So they are absolutely right about that. But there's other factors there as well, right? You're naming all these people that he helped put on, Kendrick, or let's say J. Cole, or helped out, or ASAP Rocky, or Meek Mill, people that he's giving features to, or whatever. A lot of these people have something in common as well. They all have something to say that happened to them from Drake. And unfortunately, Drake has a bad reputation. When Kanye ain't the most credible person in the world to me at all, but when he gets up there and says, like, you know, we're all glad for the removal of Drake. Like, if your reputation is all I do is do right by people, I don't fuck nobody over, I don't try to sleep with nobody's woman, I don't try to play this petty. We even heard that from from French. French has never addressed that. I never heard French address that. When Rick Ross came out and said you sent a cease and desist when French is over here trying to eat. Why didn't French address? I don't know. Never heard it. Right now, when you're Drake operating at that level, I'm pretty sure you're going to step on a toe or two. But I don't need to try to fuck your girl. I don't need to try to DM your chick behind your back. Isn't that the fallout also, like him and DJ Drama? He took down how many of these niggas' girls? You know, like he got Kanye West losing his mind. Like, yo, stop acting like you fuck Kim. Like Drake is Drake, man. That's why he's on his new album that just dropped, Party Next Door, saying like, y'all keep getting at me for being almost 40 and not married yet and all that. I decided, man, I'm here for my resume. He's got a woman problem, allegedly, arguably. Maybe he does. I don't know. Maybe he has a woman problem, right? But you have issues with people. It's not just that I helped you and then you turned on me because I'm winning. No, you have problems with a lot of these guys too. And Kendrick ain't no fucking angel over there. I just haven't heard about all his dirt yet. And when I hear about it, I promise you I'll be here to talk about it. But you know, it's just the ignoring of the fuck shit and the blatant lying. Real quick, let me come over here to my members. Shout out to Luffy Length once again for the super. Says know what's crazy is no one ever mentions that weird I hide in plain sight, or weirdo that hides in plain sight. Pregnant emoji album cover. Bro clearly has more children in this world. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have chose that album cover. And you know what happens is now in the midst of these different type of eyes that are on Drake, people go back and they say, damn, like when you said this, like that's weird. Or when you said that, that's what happens. They're going back now. And you know, Drake is Drake. There was a clip I saw. Who was it with Peter Rosenberg? That was, isn't it the weird acting dude that was with Kim as well after Kanye when they was trolling each other? I forget his name. I don't really care for him, but dude did an interview with Peter Rosenberg. And he was like, Drake is the best actor ever. He said that even the whole rap career within itself is an act. Like the whole thing is manufactured, right? And I say that, and I'm not trying to, once again, this ain't the Drake hate video. I'm not that guy, right? But I say that to say, when people continue to go back and look at your lead-in, when they pull up old videos where he's trying to explain of why the hood relates to him, it's a little cringe and it's a little awkward. And a lot of this stuff gets ignored, and you get the pass when you're just dropping the music. It's either you drop the music, you stay hot, you stay consistent, which is what Drake has done for 10 plus years, dominating the charts and giving us hits, or you run into somebody that people will listen to. Look at what's happening with Big Meech. What 50 Cent just did in Big Meech's direction, damn near ruining his name and his brand forever, right? He wasn't the first. That's why I say, once again, there's documentaries that was out on Drake before Kendrick said anything. It wasn't the first. The difference is the messenger. 50 Cent, 30 million plus Instagram platform, a man that people look at with a certain amount of respect and integrity. Yes, Pete Davidson, appreciate you. Thank you, y'all. Look at with a certain amount of respect and integrity, has a big voice. The messenger. Blue Da Vinci was saying it for years, and everybody's just like, okay, all right. Whack 100 might say it, but you be having your own little motivations as well to call you and your exposure team calling people rats and whatnot. All right, whatever. 50 Cent says it's like, wait a minute, let's pay attention. Let's dig more into the weeds now. That's what happened with Drake. Like nobody ever went through the backyard like this until Kendrick. The messenger changes things. It's like the amplifying phone. You know what I'm saying? Or the amplifier. You know, it's like I could say what I'm saying. I could be speaking 1,000% facts, but once I amplify my voice, now the masses can hear me. It's no different. It's no fucking different. All right, I got another topic off of are the fans being turned into weirdos? That's a little bit more annoying to me. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. And it's going to spin off of even a prior stream that we did when we talked about cultural divide. All right, let's check this out.
Halftime show, shut. Just tell me you understood nothing about his performance and leave. Because also, what do you mean? You sitting your ass at home with probably zero musical capabilities think that Kendrick Lamar didn't deserve the halftime show. Only white people hated it. I didn't want to say it. As a white passing person, I didn't want to say that. But you saying that and me repeating that message, I'm just going to let that sit. You know what pissed me off the most respectfully too?
The comment sparked backlash, with XQC calling it ridiculous.
The most were white men. Ain't nothing wrong with being a white man. That's not the point. My point is that
white men that make the most of the demographic that watches NFL throughout the season. Yeah, I get it. The Super Bowl is a little bit bigger than that, but it is a massive portion of the target audience of that show.
And Adin Ross labeling it fake and twisted.
I got sent from 5 other people. Your age texting me, he's laughing his ass off. Everyone sent me a tweet. I don't give a I went off. And Pokemon too. Pokemon, you. You're a fake twisted bitch. You'd only come out to white people because guess what, Pokemon? You know that's what they're gonna cater to and shit like that. You can't get canceled, come out to white people.
The debate rages on. This is what Adin Ross and XQC had to say about the whole situation.
White men that make the most of the demographic that watches NFL throughout the season. Yeah, I get it. The Super Bowl is a little bit bigger than that, but it is a massive portion.
Only come out to white people because guess what, Pokemon? You know that's what they're gonna cater to and shit like that. You can't get canceled, come out to white people. Why do you people have to bring race up in general? Why? Keep it to yourself, bitch. Holy no, chat. I'm gonna just say it for what it is. GG, I don't give a I will never listen.
Adin Ross stood by his criticism of Kendrick Lamar's halftime show.
Tav, you cannot get mad at me for defending myself. What do you want me to just take it? That Super Bowl that shit was trash, bro. Like, keep it to yourself, bitch.
Okay. Next topic on the R is this whole Drake and Kendrick beef turning some of Drake's fans or supporters into weirdos. Not just weirdos. Once again, remember the stream that we did and we showed that actor from the Goonies. You know, he went on his pretty much his racist rant. He said things like, you guys and your collard greens, if you're gonna do the rap thing or the black thing, do jazz instead. And I'm over this ghetto. Like, he's a piece of shit. Like, but once again, this is what the Kendrick, and this is the reach of this situation or this moment or this. It's historic. It really is historic. And I think us being here within the moment, we don't realize how large it is. This will be studied years from now. This will be talked about throughout the entire hip hop history forever. When we're gone, Drake and Kendrick will still be discussed. I think it belongs in, I think the halftime show belongs in classrooms 20 years from now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, next year. That's my personal belief. And that's going to lead me into some of the divide that's also exposing people, right? It's not about being black or white or brown or Hispanic or Asian. It's not about that. It's never about that with me. I should say. Let me speak for myself when it comes to this one. It's not about that at all with me. You know, the reason why I had that piece up though, of, you know, you have a white streamer saying white people didn't fuck with it, right? I'm not even going to take that position. There's a lot of white people that fully understood the Super Bowl, that loved the Super Bowl. There's also ones that hate it. There's also a lot of people we see the videos, clips of people sitting in their living rooms watching the halftime show because it's the Super Bowl. They don't even know who Kendrick Lamar is. They don't know any of those songs that was played. They don't care about hip hop music. I can't tell you one song that's on the charts right now or that's popping in country music right now. I can't tell you one song that's popping in metal. I can't tell you one song that's popping in rock and roll. I can't tell you one song that's popping in reggaeton. Or I don't follow these genres. I follow them on zero. I can't name one song or one artist right now from those areas. I can't. And the same goes for hip hop with people in the world. The same goes. Okay. So if the demographic of, let's just say the United States, of the majority of people, let's say hypothetically, that are in tune with hip hop are of color, maybe that's a way to rationalize it. I don't know the fucking stats. When SQC, and I from what I'm hearing, SQC is like one of the biggest streamers in the world. I didn't know that. I don't follow him. I only saw his shit with Drake. I don't maybe he's not falling across my timeline for the type of stuff that he discusses. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing out. I don't know. But when he says, oh, the majority of the viewership across the world or the country are white men and blah, 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 as he's reacting to that girl, I don't have that stat neither. XQC, I'm not sure if you have it. I don't have that stat. I know that there's a lot of black men actually playing the game of NFL football. I know that. But as far as the viewership, I don't know. It could be split for all I know. It could be 60-40. It could be 70-30. I don't know. And honestly, I don't give a fuck. That's more important. I actually don't give a fuck. What I do care about, though, and what does annoy me, is the people that are either A, so much on Drake's dick, or B, so ignorant about hip hop, or C, so ignorant about Black history and Black culture that the message of the halftime show is completely ignored. That bothers me. If I meet somebody and I have a conversation about the halftime show and they stand in front of my face and we're just discussing Kendrick's performance, and all they have to tell me is that it was about Drake, all we tuned in was to see Not Like Us, the halftime show meant nothing, cool. The Drake beef and the Kendrick beef absolutely is a big catalyst to the viewership of the halftime show. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It's a big reason why Kendrick is on top right now. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It's the reason why we were all sitting around either in the stadium or in front of them TV saying, is he gonna do Not Like Us? It's happening. Is he gonna say A minor? Is he gonna call him a pedo? Is he gonna say Drake's name on behind all this defamation? Yeah, a lot of us wanted to see that. Kudos to both Kendrick and Drake for that, because it took two. It took two to have a battle, right? But if I'm having this conversation with this person, and then I offer the symbolism and the messaging and the meaning of it's your uncle Sam. No, that's not how you play the game. You got to be calm. You got to be smooth. You got to be not ghetto, right? Or when I see Kendrick up there and he says it's a cultural divide, it's 40 acres and a mule. This is bigger. If I start to bring that into the conversation or debate, and you happen to be the person that just says, I'm ignoring all that shit, this is all about Drake, I'm telling you right now, in conversation with me, I can almost get to the point of being offended. Why? Because I'm a Black man. And you heard the three areas that I mentioned to start this off. The third one was Black history and Black culture, right? So the systemic oppression and messaging and words and narration from Samuel L. Jackson and all these meanings towards it, and why the colors of the flag and the division, all this stuff that's there and is not a reach. If we begin to discuss those things across the entire internet, and people at that point of consuming that information then still want to put it to the side and say, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, this is all just about Drake, I'm offended. I'm offended. And you want to know what, white folks, you should be offended as well. When there's Black Lives Matter riots and movements and protests, I see white people out there too. Shout out to all my white folks, man. It's about being in tune. It's about understanding each other. It's about having the knowledge of what some of us have been through. Like having the knowledge of what slavery is, or a Black man's plight, or the systemic pitfalls for us and these revolving doors for Black people. Understanding, agree or disagree, understanding it is a win. No different than me being a Black man and understanding what the Jews went through. Understanding it. That's not historically, well, it kind of is my fight, because like we broke that down too. Like there were Black people in some of these camps that were also targeted in Germany as well. But let's say overall, when you think about, you know, that piece of history and time, I think the more sympathy and the more plight is for Jewish folks than it is for Black people. And that's okay. That's okay. And it's my job as a man to understand it. To understand it. Now, if Kendrick was Jewish and that set was built around, you know, if we saw him performing a song in a chamber, right? Or if I saw him focus on words of like, if somebody comes out and says, hey, we're all here for concentration, and he leaned on the word, and then we started to realize like, oh shit, he leaned on the word concentration here, and then over here they got this scene where they're walking into a camp, right? And then me as a Black man, I have a debate, or I get on camera like Adin Ross, and I tell Jewish people, that shit is just about Kendrick. Jewish people, you would and should be offended, because I'm taking that out of the equation as if it doesn't matter, when actually that shit matters way more than a fucking rap battle. It's a cultural divide. I'm going to get it on the flow. I'm done with the topic, man. I don't want to get frustrated at this shit. Get off my screen. I know what this is going to be like, the Sorry It's True podcast. For me personally, I don't care how small or how big the podcast becomes. It's going to be like RBE. It is. RBE, Rare Breed Entertainment, for those that don't know. Go type it into YouTube search, Rare Breed Entertainment, if you're not familiar of where I come from when it comes to my public presence, okay? It's going to be just like that. I can tell. It's going to be me coming in, thinking that it's a safe place, and we're all here to kumbaya and continue to add to this culture, and then realize, like, wait a minute, some of my peers and people around me are lames. Some of them are cheats. Some of them are liars. Some of them are shitty men and shitty women. Oh, it's time to navigate it. And I'm not saying my peers as far as like viewership. Hell no. I'm just small little Sorry It's True podcast. But as far as what we do, talking to the public and expressing our opinions, I'm not like a lot of you niggas. And I don't want to be. And I've had the same feeling almost 12, 11 years, whatever plus ago, when I started RBE and I started to look around. I had the same fucking feeling. Like, oh, hell no. And then you just got to take pride in being different. And then you keep working. Let's get into the next joint, man. That topic annoys the shit out of me. Speaking of my guy, Math, what he got going on? What did he do? This is why Math Hoffa and Joe Budden is in the thumbnail. What did Math do, man? Let's see.
I saw 50 posting Joe. And I said, why you fucking with Joe? What Joe do, right? So I said, let me go check out, see what Joe said. So Joe told 50, well, he said on a podcast that 50 needs therapy, right? Okay. All right, this nigga been on a rampage. He's practically undefeated, right? Undefeated. If you know somebody who has defeated 50 when it comes to the internet, Leave it in the comments, because I'm curious, my nigga. As far as this nigga's fucking bulletproof on Instagram, bro. This nigga's bulletproof, right? So I'm like, why would okay? And you know, Fifth, okay, you think I need therapy? You trying to say I'm crazy and I'm fucking traumatized or some shit? Like, so 50 starts posting. Then I see Joe's response. And Joe, you know, I got love for Joe, you know. 50, you know, niggas grew up, you know, looking up to this guy, you know what I'm saying? And I remember all the energy that Joe had for Drake.
Look at him with the fucking The Rock eyebrow. Okay, man.
Do y'all remember the energy that Joe had for Drake? Right? So, you know, he called Drake you know, all types of names for suing UMG. Right?
Got the light up for this, huh? It's deep.
But then his response to 50. Is you gonna sue?
Jerk. What a jerk.
I don't know.
You don't know? I do.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I don't know. So when I say motherfuckers be picking and choosing, they be picking and choosing.
Hey, Mav, you might be picking and choosing right now. All right, Mav. All right. I'm going to use your shit, okay? Don't do that. Don't literally, you battling daylight. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now, what's Mav's background? You know, Mav comes from them places. Mav comes from the streets, right? We know about the blood on Mav's Timbs, right? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mav, my nigga, man. But I disagree here. I disagree. One thing that I think we got to be careful with, people, especially us with followings, Mav, right? You have a very, very large platform. We got to be careful to not mix codes to these youngins. That's why I ain't like this video from Mav. I'm like, Mav, don't do that. Can't mix codes. What I mean by codes: street code, civilian code, and then when we mix them, that's where we create gray. And that's where people are misled. That's where people get messed up. That's where people make mistakes. That's what people do and say the wrong things. They have the wrong teachings, the wrong learnings, right? Can't mix codes. Suing. Now, suing is looked at as working with authorities, an authority figure, courts involved, police involved. There's not necessarily police involved in civil courts, right? But there's judges involved, right? Authority, somebody that could tell me yes or no about an outcome in my life. Authority figures, right? So there are a lot of people that look at anything involving court as anti-street, whether it's civil suits, whether it's dialing 911 for anything, right? There's some people like that, right? Civilian code is supposed to be, you can call them people for anything. You could walk into a court for anything. You can have an issue with anything, and you're a civilian. So what? Street code is, you from that place, and you have these claims. You're not supposed to be walking into a court to civil or criminal sue somebody or put a case on somebody for whatever the matter is, because you live a certain lifestyle and you follow certain codes. Here's where we mix them. Very, very easy example. Like, let's say a street nigga. Let's say Al Capone. Let's say John Gotti. Let's say fucking Big Meech, whoever, right? If you're on the highway and you have a car accident, God forbid, and you happen to call 911 and say, this is where at exit XYZ on I-75, and you need them to come to write a police report, because that police report is also used along with your insurance claim, right? Because all you're doing is you're submitting this paperwork to your insurance so they don't hike up your monthly payment, and instead they get the payments back, or they get the money back from the person whose fault it was in the accident, right? We're doing too much, I shouldn't say we. Y'all are doing too much, you street code people, by mixing that into the same bag. Like, oh, you violated a code because you dialed 911, you had a police report written, and you filed something against somebody. You're doing too much, right? People, there has to be certain areas where you're allowed to interact with authorities because you live in America, all right? You have to be able to call the cops if you find a dead body in your front yard, whether you know how it got there or not. You have to be able to do that. You have to be able to speak with authorities, and sometimes to even clear your name, to clear your situation, because if you don't, you could just end up taking your ass on the run, right? If that's how you want to live, right? A dead body was found in your front lawn, right? You just want to leave it there, right? Me, I'm getting in front. Even if I am a street nigga, I'm getting in front of that. 911, I ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but there's a body in my front. Oh, you call the cops. Shut the fuck up. Right? We can't mix codes. We can't mix codes. Now, when you speak about Joe Budden and 50 Cent specifically, yeah, Joe Budden got on his podcast and he said, them AI pictures, it pays me that 50 is posting about me. It pays me. If we get to the point where it doesn't pay me or benefit me anymore, that's where the lawyers come in, right? The mixing of the codes. We got to keep it street niggas and street activity. Not a street nigga and non-street activity because you called the cops because your daughter didn't come home, or your son, you can't find your son, right? I want to use extreme shit to show you street niggas how, no, you better dial 911, and I know you would. Okay, a car accident, something involving your child, whatever. Don't mix the codes. Don't mix street shit into civilian activities. Now, Joe would look a little weird for filing a lawsuit on 50 Cent. Why? Not because of the street code and the civilian code getting meshed, because Joe has criticized a lot of people over time on his podcast. That's the key. That's the key. It's like in battle rap, right? If you allegedly sabotage a bunch of people's events and battles, and then you go to court and you sue somebody for anything, that's the key. It's disgusting, cowardly behavior. Okay. So Joe should never sue 50 Cent, especially when he already admit that the suing would be tied to $1. Like, oh, when the money stops, when your posts don't benefit me anymore, then I might call lawyers. That's wrong. If you have a problem, you have a problem. Call lawyers. If you don't try to call them when it's not beneficial to you. That's like, to me, the person that, if we have one situation on the table, doesn't go my way. If I'm rich, I don't sue you. If I'm poor, I sue you. I don't like that. I don't like that, because then you're creating what you call an opportunist. I don't like an opportunist that operates in the gray, because now you're splitting your morals. You're splitting your principles. You're splitting how you would react to things based on the circumstances around it. No, live in black and white as much as possible. Either you are for it or you're not for it. That's where Joe is to me, in my opinion, wrong. But math is wrong, because once again, he's mixing the codes. He's mixing the codes. So Drake absolutely suing Kendrick in what we all saw as a rap battle, something that he had no problem going on tours and performing when he thrashed Meek Mills, right? Getting up there and performing back to back in concerts and bringing down the whole arenas, driving Meek Mill's career into the grave, right? He had no problem then, but then when he lost and he got his ass whooped, he walked into court. We don't respect that. Those are cowardly moves. Now, I know Drake has a different justification of there might be $500 million at stake. Okay. Once again, you people that will justify a man's actions with an amount of money, I watch you. I pay attention to you. That's why I keep telling you, co-event, what, 10 million on the floor? I say no. Certain things are not supposed to be moved by a dollar amount. But anyway, I'm gonna keep showing you who I am, and I'm gonna keep showing you who these people are. I will. I will. If you pay attention and you listen to what they say and just watch what they do, right? So technically, Drake, from a code standpoint, suing is why we're all looking at him. Well, not all of us. A lot of us are looking at him crazy for it. But would that be the same, right? If Joe says, all right, I'm about to sue 50 for defamation or whatever, or false perception of that's being promoted of me, or people think that those AI pictures are real, right? Is it the same? No, it's very different from a black and white standpoint or from a gray standpoint as far as somebody's principles and standing on what they stand on, regardless of the circumstances. That's the issue. That's the issue. So, Math, I understand where you were going with that, right? And from that perspective, I agree. But from the standpoint of mixing codes, that was interesting to me because I feel like a lot of us do that at times and we don't realize we're doing it, mixing codes. And let's be careful. Let's be careful, you know. Math is always fit for a good debate. No, you don't got to get on your platform and answer me. You know my number, nigga. Shout out to Math. All right, let's get into this one. I saw this. Newsworthy. A lot of us saw this. What do we got here? Mother of Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pop, files wrongful death lawsuit against Lil Durk amid murder for hire case. Shout out to College Kid. Posted Sunday Times reports Chicago rap superstar Lil Durk is now the target of a wrongful death lawsuit alleging he placed a hit on rapper Quando Rondo that culminated in the fatal shooting of his rival's cousin. Look how they put the word rival here, right? Stay there. Claims that piggyback criminal charges Lil Durk faces. The lawsuit filed this month in Cook County Court holds I don't know that name, Robinson, was gunned down. I believe that's Lil Pop's real name then. Was gunned down in the ill-fated targeted attack in Los Angeles on August 19, 2022, according to a statement announcing the case. The suit names as defendants Lil Durk, his business manager, his record label, Only the Family, and related company. Wow. So even his manager is being sued by this one. Wow. All right. There's a couple things about this. Wow. First of all, it just shows that you don't even have to have a conviction for the allegations. A civil suit is a civil suit. You know, the civil suit can go in and it could be wrong, and then you fight it, you lawyer up, and then you don't get what you sought out for. Ask Tony Busby's client, right? They sought out for something with Jay-Z, and they didn't get what they was looking for, right? And now Tony Busby is going through what he's going through, right? And that alleged victim walks off, and she's got to, well, I should say that woman, right? She walks off, and she's got to go back to her normal life, right? Lil Durk hasn't even gotten to trial yet, and he's being sued for the wrongful death. We've seen this before as well. This isn't his first civil suit, right? Mama Duck, FBG Duck's mother, has a civil suit on Lil Durk and OTF and all that. I don't think that that's a wrongful death one. Is that wrongful death? I forget. We did a stream on it. But one thing that I definitely remember that's in that filing is that accusations that, you know, Lil Durk and OTF and these folks capitalized, meaning that, you know, my son died, which is FBG Duck, and then your music went up, or you dropped certain songs with certain lyrics that got more traction over my son's death, right? That suit, I shouldn't say I don't want to say support. It's definitely not a support thing because there's losses of life here, so I want to be careful. I definitely understand that suit more than this one, right? Reason being is the one from Mama Duck. If it's not about a wrongful death, and I'm not saying what's right or wrong about lives that were lost, I'll explain that further in a second. If it's about saying my son FBG Duck died, and you capitalized off of it wrongfully, you know, the drill music isn't something that technically I'm supposed to get up here and say, yeah, go ahead and drop the song Dead Bitches. You know, I'm not supposed to support that, you know, from an overall messaging standpoint. So if Mama Duck loses her son and she says, I don't want y'all capitalizing on my son passing, I understand that. Right? But if it's wrongful death, this is the tough question that we begin to ask. The wrongful death would have to negate the person who passed away's activity in the street, the codes that they lived by, and what they participated in, right? I don't know if FBG Duck has bodies under his belt. I don't know if he's ever shot people, stabbed people, or beat people up in regards to gang activity. Chicago, y'all could jump in the comments and y'all could tell me, was FBG Duck really in the streets as far as like getting active and hurting ops? Did he hurt ops? Period. It doesn't have to even just be killed. Did he hurt ops? Period. Chicago, y'all jump in my chat and let me know. And that's where the wrongful death question and controversy comes in, because we are in an era now where the courts are being sought after by civilians more than ever. And I'm not talking about criminal. I'm talking about civil, right? It seems like everybody's running to court for something civilly. Some are just and some are not. If FBG Duck was putting in pain and hurting his ops, should there be any lawsuit about his passing? I'll let y'all answer that. Or let's use this one for Lil Pop. Lil Pop, to our understanding, is a street nigga and heavily involved himself in these back and forths, right? Unfortunately, in these street wars, there's a winner and there's a loser. And sometimes actually everybody loses, right? We're not here to condone any of these wars, any of these shootings, any of these killings. We're not here to condone any of it. If all these ops could get along and make money together and make music together and shake hands and stop shooting at each other, I'm pretty sure we would all vote in that direction. I certainly would. But what's Lil Pop's background is my question. Like would Lil Pop have killed Lil Durk if he had the opportunity? That's where it makes stuff like this like a little controversial to me. And that's with no disrespect, and that's with all due respect and rest in peace to everybody that has lost their lives in these situations. But it's just people got to remember that this is also the era in the world that we're in, where we could watch gang members beef. We could watch them kill each other, shoot at each other, degrade each other, hurt each other, beat each other up, make music about it, all this type of stuff. Somebody within the equation can take a loss, and you can possibly see a lawsuit come behind that. That just feels a little off to me. That's all I'm saying. Unless there's things I don't know about. I'm pretty sure there's a lot I don't know about Lil Pop. It just feels weird. And I know, and we're not saying Lil Pop, obviously he's not here. Like, we're not saying that he opened the civil suit, right? Can never tell a family how to grieve, right? And you could have family members that are all out civilians. They don't care nothing. They ain't hear nothing about none of that street shit. All they know is that they lost somebody and they want some form of justice or different forms of justice, right? And for that, I will also say I understand. But this is why there's some controversy behind stuff like this, you know. So Lil Durk is sitting there and he's had these wars where people have harmed his and he's harmed theirs. And then his lawyer walks in or calls him one day or walks up into the cells and tells him an update like, oh, by the way, you're being sued for that war that you was in. It's just like, huh? You know, like it's just I think that's a conversation we will continue, right? Maybe if we get some of these civil suits paperwork and we look at the full detailed allegations, you know, then I'll be able to pick apart, is this, you know, about a civilian family member that is seeking different forms of justice? Is this about a money play? Is this about negating the people that some of these victims were actually involved in, which is street shit, or possibly hurting other people as well? When we have the paperwork, we'll pick apart the details. But I see the controversy on the internet, And now we're opening up the discussion. Okay. Let me get over to the channel. Let's go voting poll time, people. What is this? As soon as I go over to YouTube, I see a video that says Mike Knox wants all the smoke. Calls out Garcia. I'm gonna put you to sleep. What? Oh my goodness. What? I'll check that out. I actually continue to go back and forth with Garcia a little bit, like the day before yesterday, a little bit yesterday, I think. Just continue to he sent me some more stuff. He also texted me. He said, "Man, you could say on your podcast anything that we talked about because I don't have anything to hide." I was like, "Oh, okay." You know, because like I said, our text message and all that I was keeping private. So I don't know. I'm gonna watch this Mike Knox video later. All right, let me. What the hell is going on? Let me go over to the channel, people, and let me get into the live chat, and let me get a voting poll up. Where's my voting poll? There we go. All right, start a voting poll. All right, what's the question that we're going to talk about this morning? Is Adin Ross violating Black and hip hop culture? If y'all remember that first topic of the stream, I'm going to put yes, I'm going to put no, I'm going to put maybe, I'm going to put maybe, and what would be a fourth option just to make this as fair as possible to that man? I'm also going to put he is just uninformed. And I got one last closeout statement that I'm going to say based on that fourth comment. Hold on. Let me get the voting poll out. All right, the voting poll is out. So y'all start y'all vote. And this is what I want to say as well. People, I'm not here. At least I don't want to be here. I might get frustrated at times and say the things that I say. It will be what I'm human. But I don't want to be here to just pick on people and call people out for their wrongs, right? Sometimes I think it is educational and it's enlightening for us to look at some of the things on the internet and these big situations and bring more conversation to them, even if they do spawn from negativity. I do see the value in that for me and for y'all. But let me ask y'all this, man. Or let me say this instead. I don't ever want to create a following on the podcast side of things where people that rock with me or agree with me would then go and attack somebody else. I'm not here for that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to create no beehive or no like it's not. Hey, let's all go spam Adin Ross after this morning. Sorry, it's true podcast stream. I'm not here for that. You want to know what's better to me? Attempts for enlightenment. Now I know a lot of people have their biases, they have their fuck shit, and they have their weak ass characters where they don't want to be enlightened. They don't want to be informed. They would rather remain ignorant for their own pros and cons of what they gain from that, right? Instead of spamming these people, if you ever watch a Sorry It's True podcast and feel like, damn, this person is tripping that we spoke about, instead try to inform them. Take a video like this and send it to them. I'm not even on no clout shit. You could DM to them in private. I'm not looking for the clout or nothing like that. Send all other people's videos. Doesn't even have to be my videos. Send it to them. Hey, man, you said the Super Bowl is only about Drake. Check some of this out. Let's find out if you understand a little bit more about the cultural divide, and we're trying to get it on the flow. 40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the mule. Let's see if you could watch a video like this and understand a little bit more. And then if you still stand how you stand, then we identify fully who the fuck you are. Hence the voting poll that's up here right now. I try to be nice and leave a little room for maybe, right? But let's try to do that, man. Like if you're coming from this side with a particular opinion, people, send them some of these videos. Send them some information. Same way y'all send me information. Send them information. And let's see where those people stand after that. Because here's the thing, too. When people get differences of opinions, and they get berated, you know what happens? It's a defense mechanism, and they just automatically call people haters. I don't know why. I just got 10 tweets this morning that says I'm a hater because I said that the halftime show is only about Drake. Right. And then they look at those people as haters, and then nobody ever learns nothing. Instead, try to inform or try to educate people. Hey, man, I see that you had an opinion of the halftime show being about Drake. Here, check this video out from this podcast, or check out this Sorry It's True podcast episode and check it out and see if you agree or disagree. And then maybe if they have any humility about them or self-improvement about them, because you're always going to try to progress if you're anything like me. But you're going to watch the video maybe in the privacy of your own home. You're going to say, oh, what's this? Damn. How would I feel if it was, a show that was based on informing the plight of Jewish people? Would I feel, damn, how would I feel if Drake actually won? Like, I don't, am I offending Black culture and Black history by saying this? Let them be informed. Don't berate them, because that's all they're going to do is be defensive and say, oh, y'all are hating on me. No. We got some opinions to share your way. And what I'm always going to try to arm y'all with is solid logic. if for lack of anything else, at least solid logic. Agree or disagree with me? All right. Is Adin Ross violating Black and hip hop culture? 73% currently says yes. 10% says no. 6% says maybe. 11% says he is just uninformed. That 11%, send them things that make you feel would inform him. Okay, that 11%, that's what we were just talking about. That's dope. The 74%, the people that feel like, oh yeah, nah, he is. Then I guess that my initial topic was landing then. The 9% of people that say no, those are the people that if in 2025 I build or I add a call-in number, I would respectfully bring you up, and I would just want to hear your opinion. You may have some insightful opinion to add there. And 5% say maybe. I have no problem with that either. The people that feel like, I don't know, like I understand, I'm hearing him out and his positions, and I hear topics like this morning, and I understand where you're coming from. So I'm going to say that's totally fine too. You know what I'm saying? But right now we're at 75% is saying yes. So, all right, y'all. Also, shout out to Miss Abby. I will always see him as Jimmy. Ooh. Glow voice. Nisha says you can be uninformed and still disrespect Black and hip hop culture. Very true. Two things can be, yes, that is very, very true. Overdose NY says scroll up and read. I don't know if that's for me or other people. Oh no, I see y'all debating in the chat. Okay. Avis, what's up, shorty? Says, or they'll lie and say they understand. Ain't that the truth? Okay, what up, man? How you been? Tariq only started FBA to get black reparations, which failed, so he fell back. We having conversation in this chat. Let me pull this one up. At Rare Breed, I'll leave informing those that are intentionally ignorant to the kids with the energy for it. When I'm ignorant on things, I have to pay for courses. They should too. I respect this position right here because you use the word intentionally. I respect this. If you are intentionally being ignorant, you're not even my type of person. So good comment. Great comment. What's this? Black women times 2. At Rare Breed, did you ever do a review on the documentary Microphone Check about the creation of hip hop? I did not do a stream on that. Let me pull it up and I'll leave it up here as a marker for myself to see if it's something that we should come back and do together. What is it called again? Microphone Check. I'm going to type in Microphone Check Hip Hop Doc. Microphone Check the hidden history of hip hop. No, that's it on the news. 245. I'm not finding it on my initial search. New film, Microphone Check. These are like news channels mentioning it. Hey, Black Women Times 2, do me a favor, DM it to me on IG, the link. Let me do an initial scan of it to see if it's something that we need to bring back to the stream. Let me see if there's a couple members in here as well. I need to shout out to Kelson. Kelson says, I honestly believe that he is willingly misinformed. See, that's the thing. Intentionally, willingly, those things is the type of situations where we gotta spot them. And then when we spot those type of people, then we gotta say, I lose respect for those people, and they don't get my ears as much anymore. It's okay to be misinformed. It's okay to be ignorant, right? But if you're intentionally ignorant, or if you are willingly misinformed, that's where people are like, yo, this is not my type of person, man. This is not my like academics, for example. Hey, salute to him. It's just weird. It's by nature. I find myself like watching his stuff way less than I did. Of course, the thing with the 15-year-old was just like, damn. You know what I'm saying? The Drake thing really shows him in a certain light, character-wise. And then we had earlier stuff as well, like, yo, you really did, you know, you kind of like the war in Chirac thing, like we seen it back then. Like the way that he, in so many words, was like kind of making fun of it, like that whole delivery and the word, like how he's doing it and giving people the names and everything. So his character is his character. And as I grow as well, it's just like, I'll be over on his channel. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I'll be over on his channel occasionally here and there. If he's got some news for me, hey man, you got some news that I'm interested in, I'm gonna click you. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. But as far as like how I look at you now, or the frequency of watching you, like even like for random stuff that maybe I'm not using for my own news and learning stuff and seeing what's going on, I don't watch him as much as I used to anymore. And I probably continue in that fashion. But that's just what happens with me. In certain, like Adin Ross, like if he was an objective person, I would probably go subscribe to his channel because I'm learning more about him now. I didn't know Adin Ross last year. You know what I'm saying? As big as a streamer as he is, I didn't. I would go subscribe to his channel because I would see like this, whether he was right or wrong about what I watch. I'd be like, oh, he's an objective person. He attempts to be informed. He's an open-minded person, right? And he has a big platform. Subscribe. That's what I would do. But now I see this shit, like one of them the sky's purple type of niggas. Them niggas over. I'm cool, man. Like I'm gonna come across his content because he's a big voice, but I ain't subscribing to that shit. I ain't subscribing to them channels. All right, it's a cultural divide. I'm gonna get it on the flow. I'm out of here, y'all. I hope this was a good morning for y'all stream wise, man, because we got in the weeds and we got a little bit interesting with it. Hope that we take stuff like this away and we could walk with some of this, but keep teaching me as well. Jump in the comments, man. Leave me y'all feedback. I'll catch up with y'all in a second.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry Street Podcast. Welcome to the house up. And shout out to the members.